am making an apron because one of my aprons is dying and a couple of them are just filthy looking, all stained on the tummy. You know how they get. And I saw some at this nice store the other day, and they were $31 each. And I was tempted, but not very tempted, because I knew I could make my own. So here is the bodice piece of this apron. I wanted it to be 7 inches across the top, so I cut this 8, so that gives me a 1/2 inch of seam allowance on either side. And then I just kind of measured it from where I wanted it at the top of my chest to where I wanted it at my waist, and just cut it that way. But of course I cut it folded. Let me show you that. So the fabric was folded like this, and so I just did 4 inches up here, and I'm gonna trim off, of course, that fringe right there. And then I just kind of eyeballed this, but it ended up being pretty good. Tried to leave a nice box to finish off this underneath and this here. And then I just kind of sloped it. I eyeballed this to get it up to that spot that I had cut in a little bit. And I've got another fabric for the skirt. Let's look at that. This is the skirt fabric. This is a lot of this fabric that I got at the local thrift store, and I've been using it to make those little fabric bags and stuff. But this is a bigger piece. Now, I don't want a big, full pioneer lady skirt with a ruffle on the bottom or anything. I want this to come about down to my top of my knees is all I need. And then I was thinking I would do a pocket or something with this on the maybe one on the, well, no, I like pockets down below. I don't really need one on the chest. So these are going to be kind of just fun, complementary, but slightly contrasting colors in my fabric. There's a lady in a Facebook group that Scrappy sews like this. She sews all kinds of things. Her name is Renee something or other, and I think she lives in the Netherlands. Anyway, and she's a little bit inspirational. So that's what's coming down the pike. Hello, everybody. It's Monday morning. It's 32 degrees Fahrenheit outside. That's 0 Celsius. That, I know, that conversion is familiar. So it's a bit chilly. It's kind of chilly in the house. I have my little heater running. And today is going to be, I think, a sewing day, or at least this morning. So let me show you, in addition to the apron that I've just started cutting out. I want to finish that today, maybe. But I want to show you some other things. Oh, I started talking and Leo came in the studio. Hello, Leo. You want to come up and say hello? He doesn't always want to come up and say hello. So these are some pillowcases. They're just a little bit too long. They're not, I don't think they're king size, but they're long enough that the pretty edging on it doesn't show because it's hanging off the edge. And this is what I really wanted to show you, because my daughter made these 2 pillowcases. There's 2 of them, a set of 2. And she does handwork. I don't do this kind of handwork at all. Is this embroidery or it's not? And I've done some cross stitch, but she does finer stuff than that. Isn't that beautiful? This is a new pair of pillowcases she gave me at Christmas. And I really just need to reduce the other end by about 3 inches. So I'll turn them inside out, run a line seam down there, cut that off, and they'll be ready to go. So I have 2 of those. Well, my daughter has been doing handwork for a long time, and loves to do pillowcases. Oh, the date on this is 2014, so this was 8 years ago. That doesn't seem possible. She made a pair of pillowcases with these tulips. Isn't that just, and butterflies. They're gorgeous. She told me she gave me the new set because she thought these were looking kind of tired, but I don't think they're looking tired at all. I have loved using those. They're so pretty. Another thing, I don't know if there's a date on these. These are tea towels made out of just some lovely, lovely crinkly cotton. There's 2 of them. Look what she did there. Now I know she has a pattern she imprints on there, but I just think that is so pretty. There's a pair of them, like I said. I keep them hanging right now, and the only spot that I have a cute little hanger for them, which is in the bathroom. But and I hate to use them because I know I'll get stains on tea stains, and then they'll be dirty, and so I just love to look at them. They're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. One last thing that my daughter did. Now this is cross stitch. She does this as well. This is when she was overseas for a couple of years teaching school, and she did this cross stitch for me because we live near water and we have boats, and I love colorful houses. Isn't that beautiful? And she put it, this is my quandary, she put it on a nice back. It's very well finished. I could open up a seam on the end and turn it into a little pillow. I want to protect it, so I keep it inside a little plastic bag. Isn't that strange? I could get a piece of glass and put on. I don't know what to do with it. It's a little thick to frame. I don't have much wall space anyway. But now I just have it lying on a surface in my studio so that I can look at it. The other thing I'm doing this morning, well, I'm having toast and hot coffee. My hands are cold. I've been still working on my alpaca. Here's another. I need to put this into a ball. I'm trying to figure out what this is. I guess it is alpaca, which is very crinkly. It spun up very differently. It hung together better even than the brown. But it's the same softness as alpaca, and if it were wool, I don't think it would be. So, I think I'm getting to the point where I might have enough of this alpaca to start my rug. So, not this video, of course, but the next video, I think I'll show my warp on that, on my loom, and I'll start weaving that and see how it goes. I have no idea how it's going to behave when I try to put it on the loom. It's very exciting. Okay, well, let's go get after this apron. It's not going to sew itself. I'm going to start with the bodice, the bib. The bib is not a bodice of this. Now, the last time I made an apron years ago, I doubled the thickness of the bib, but that was a standard weight, just a cotton. And this is kind of a heavier canvas, so I don't want to double it. So I think what I'm just going to do, I'm going to do this simple. I'm winging it today, winging sewing. I'm just going to fold this over twice and get myself a finished edge along this line on the bib. And finish that first. Of course, the ties will come off down here, and I'll finish off the top. Okay, so follow along. Okay, not too bad of a finished edge there. That was nice and easy. Don't you like that tucking under technique? It's about a 1/4 inch plus a 1/4 inch. That gives you a 1/2 inch of your seam allowance on either side that you used up. Okay, so might as well. Oh no, I don't want to do that yet. Got to figure out how I'm going to do the neckband. Okay, let's do some figuring out. I don't like the neckband and the waist tie. I just find them so fiddly long pieces. You know how we used to make them and turn them? Oh, with a crochet hook, that was just awful. Now I just get long pieces and fold them over and finish them off. I think, and you know, a lot of sewing is figuring which step is the next step. That's what we're gonna do now. All right, I've cut myself a neckband, and I'm going to finish it by turning in each side and then folding it over and then running a seam down. Okay, that's just such an easy way to do it, and it gives it some solidity too when you're wearing it. And then I am going to enclose the ends of this, the raw end of this, into the top of the bib. And I'll show you when I do that. Okay. Oh, wondered where the strap went. It was around my neck. Okay, so it's the right length. I only had to cut off a little bit because I eyeballed it pretty well for length. Now, the way I'm going to do the top of the bib is, of course, to fold it over once and fold it over twice. But I want to capture this strap in there. So when I fold it over the first time, and get it nice and even over here, and then when I fold it over the second time, I'll enclose it in there, and then I'll bring it back up. Now that is very, actually I might turn it this way so there's less bulk on that edge. That's a lot of bulk on that edge, and my machine might struggle with that. Sometimes you have to do things by hand with a good strong needle if it's too thick for your machine. So then it'll be enclosed like that, and it'll look like that on the front. So I think that'll be nice. Let's give that a shot. Let's do this one over here first. Now this is a time when you want to make sure you give yourself plenty of seam allowance going here there. Along the top first. I'll probably do 2 lines of stitching here. I guess I'll go ahead and go across with this. Even across. That, and then we'll sew another seam below that. That looks pretty good. All right, kind of nice to get the top of the bib finished. Oh, I need to capture that. Yeah, I've got to tuck that under and run another seam along there. Okay, so I finished off the 3 edges of the apron bottom, this bottom edge and the 2 sides, and then I realized I've got something on this fabric. This is thrift store fabric. It's like some kind of a sticky paper, so oh yeah, it comes off pretty easily. Matter of fact, it would probably come off in the wash. Thankfully it's not some kind of terrible paint. Didn't realize that was there. Okay, so see how these fabrics are looking together? Now I'm going to work on joining them together. Now I wanted to focus on this little point up here okay, because I'm going to want to fold this back, obviously, to make these meet. And then also we'll need to put my waistband tie right in there at the end of this. And I'd like to encase it in this seam the same way I did with the ties at the neck. So I'm going to wait to do all the sewing until I have those ties in place. And now I need to go find some long fabric for my ties. And then I'll put a pocket here across the tummy. I really don't use them on the bib. I really need a pocket or a divided pocket on the tummy part is what I need. Okay, come. I thought I'd show you really quick how I'm going to put this tie in here. Okay, so here's all my loose little pieces. Here's the end of the tie that I made. The other end, of course, is finished, but this one is still raw. And my bib raw edge, of course, protrudes a little bit. I wish I had a little bit more room there, but I don't. But it'll tuck under nicely like that. And then I'm going to put this, and I'm not going to fold it over or anything, just going to lay it in there, fold that up, probably pin that securely, and make sure, I'm going to do a really firm bit of stitching there, maybe even like an X or something. When I get the other tie done, I'll put it in as well, and I'll run a line here first, okay? Now that I've got my ties sewed in on the end like that, nice and secure, I've turned my apron to the inside, and I'm going to go ahead and pin between these clips to make sure that these two layers are nice and flat and consistent across. And then I'm going to turn it to the right side and probably do a double row of stitching straight across to finish it up. It's nice that it's just an apron that's going to be covered with food stains, and so I don't feel a great pressure to make it perfect. All right, so let's flip her over, finish her up. Okie dokie. So here it is so far. I don't have any pocket yet. Yeah, that's just about right. I didn't want anything too long, frilly, too much fabric. I could tie it a little tighter. I really like to have ties that I can just bring around to the front because I don't like tying behind myself. So like this. This one's just, I mean, I could tie a knot. That'll work. Yeah. Okay, little, let me see. This is a little piece, it'll be bigger than this, but a little red pocket across the front. All right. So there's the apron. Yeah, that's a little too snug. What do you think about those stripes? Kind of crazy. So that's some scrappy sewing today. You'll probably be seeing this apron in the kitchen later on. I think the bib is a little baggy. I wonder if I could cinch it up in the back. The skirt is nice and snug. I like that. I don't want any extra. This is a little bit, isn't that funny that that turned out bigger than I wanted? It's really the strap. I didn't want the strap too short. I could probably take a couple of inches out of it. So I'm making the strangest pocket. I don't know if this is going to work. I realize I don't need a pocket to put like a glass in or you know, a jar of spices or something. All I really need pockets on my apron for are two things: a pair of glasses and a Kleenex, okay, which is a small pocket. So this is what I did. I had this little piece of red, and I folded over both ends of it, okay, and finished those off a little bit. And then I folded it long ways, and I sewed a side seam. So I ended up with this. And then I'm turning it this way, right side out. Gonna get those corners nice and square. And then I'm just going to sew it straight onto the apron like this, which will give me two pockets. It'll give me this pocket, and it'll give me the pocket between the pocket and the apron. And so I'll have two pockets, so I can put my glasses behind and my Kleenex in front. So I've kind of automatically made a double pocket, if that makes sense. Anyway, easier than two pockets, and I just really need this little pocket on one side. Let's see if this works. That's a very red pocket, isn't it? But look what it does. It has a pocket in the back, and it has a pocket in the front. Let's try it on again. All right. I did cinch up the neckband. I just folded it over and sewed it down. But I've had aprons actually wear right there at the back of the neck. And so it's kind of nice to have that reinforced. So that's the right length now. Kleenex. Glasses. Now that pocket's a little on the small side, but it'll work. Yeah, actually my glasses are usually here. What I really need it for is a Kleenex. That's nice. Occasionally I'll put an egg in a pocket, but not usually my kitchen apron. That's usually my farm apron. So now I've got to throw away an apron, and every other apron has to be relegated down a layer, and this will become my kitchen apron. So that's it for today. See you later. Thanks for joining me.